was a flower growing wild and free. All I'd want is you to be my sweet honeybee. All I want is you, will you be my bride? Take me by the hand and stand by my side. All I want is you, will you stay with me? Hold me in your arms and sway me like the sea.
Hey guys, in order to make this top, you're going to need white, green, and red yarn and a hook. I'm using a 5mm hook. You're also going to need a little bit of black yarn and some scissors. I would say that this is an intermediate to expert level project, so if you're new to crocheting, don't worry about falling behind. It took me a few hours to complete this, and I've been crocheting for years. Anywho, begin with a slip knot and create a chain long enough to reach both sides of your ribcage, like so. After your chain is long enough, go back on your chain using a half double crochet. That's just the stitch that I like to use, but you could also use a single crochet for this project. Half double crochet is yarn over, go through the stitch, yarn over, go back through the stitch, and go through the loops. As you can tell, I don't know the proper terminology for crocheting. I'm self-taught, so I'm just going to show you a close-up of what I'm doing so you could just try to mimic my actions. So you're going to complete 4 rows of this half double crochet, or you can make it wider depending on how big you want your top to be. Mine is going to be a crop top, so I just stuck with 4 rows. So after you're content with how wide the green part is, grab your scissors and cut the yarn. Then grab your white yarn and tie it together with the green yarn. I like to double knot it and give it a tug just to make sure that it's not going to fall apart. And I would suggest that you do the same. After you've tied a secure knot, either continue on with the stitch you're already using or use a double crochet like me. I just decided to do the white part as a double crochet just to change it up, but you can continue to use the same stitch you're using, either half double crochet or single crochet. And double crochet is yarn over, go through stitch, yarn over, go back through stitch, yarn over, go through 2 loops, yarn over, last 2 loops. And this is what the stitch looks like. It's going to show a little more skin because it's more open. If you don't like that stitch, you could just go ahead and use a half double crochet or single crochet. Those are more closed. But this is just what I used because I decided I wanted to be spontaneous. Anyway, after you're done with your 1 row of double crochet or 2 rows of single or half double crochet, cut off the white yarn and attach the red yarn, again with 2 knots and a tug to make sure that it does not fall apart later on, because that would be terribly frustrating. But after you're done securing your knot, just go back to using the original stitch that you used for the green part of your top. So if you're doing exactly what I'm doing, I'm going to start again with the half double crochet. Remember, if I'm going too fast or you don't know what the stitches are called or what I'm talking about, I have a Crocheting for Beginners video that I will link down below. Also, if you use the double crochet for the white, make sure that you go in through the small stitch and not through the big stitch, like not in here, go through here and do the half double crochet / single crochet, whatever one that you're using. You're just going to keep on crocheting this stitch for a while, all the way up until you place the top on the middle of your chest and you're content with how long it is. Since I want mine to be a crop top, I would place the bottom of the blouse where I want the top to end and then crochet up until I reach the middle of my chest. So I would place it right under my ribs and crocheted 14 rows to reach up to my chest. After you're content with the length, you're going to start making it a halter top by skipping the last stitch in every row. This is going to make the top look more like a triangle than a square. So just continue on with your half double or single crochet. So every time you reach the end of a row, just skip the very last stitch right here and flip it over and start your new row. And after a few rows of that, your top is going to start looking like this on the sides. And that's good. It's starting to look more and more like a halter top. So every so often, just try it on and make sure everything is fitting well. But if it's not and it's looking too much like a triangle, unravel a couple rows and only skip the last stitch in every other row. So we're going to keep going to that pattern until we reach our collarbones. You will know that you're finished with the length when the top of the top reaches your collarbones and the bottom of the top is where you want your top to end. Now that is a confusing explanation, but I'm sure you understand. Basically, try it on and make sure that it's long enough. If not, just keep going. Now that you're content with the size of your top, it's time to fix up these rough edges. Unless you like it like that. I personally don't. So I just start where I left off on my top and single crochet downwards on top of the edges. So all those stitches that were skipped are all going to be crocheted on top of with a single crochet. And when you're doing this, there's not going to be specific stitches that you can go into. Just go into the nearest hole and single crochet through it. Then you're going to single crochet back up and all around to the other side, then back up again, so you end off where you started in the beginning. Right there near the collarbone. This just gives your top a cleaner look and gives you a chance to even out anything that was remarkably uneven. The next step is to make the neck straps. Start from here and chain 20 to 30 chains. After you're content with how long your chain is, then you grab your scissors, snip off the yarn, pull the excess yarn through the last loop, and seal it up. Do the strap on the other side, just insert the yarn where you want this strap to begin. Then, with the end of that yarn and the yarn that's attached to the yarn ball, create a knot, just how I am, and after you're done creating a knot, do a slip knot on top of that, and create your chain from there. To doubly secure it, I usually crochet one and then start my chain. And voila, you are done with the neck straps, but now it is time to work on the side straps that are going to wrap around your back. It's a little difficult showing you on camera what part I'm going to be crocheting on, but it's going to be this section right here. I'm going to make straps from right here and on. Once you decide where you want your strap to be, do the same thing that you did when you created the second neck strap, which was to pull the yarn through the area you want your strap to be, to make a knot, and then crochet a chain from there. Then just skip a few rows and do another one. I did a total of 4 straps. Each are spaced out equally. You can make your straps close together or you can make them far apart. As long as it's supportive, it's fine. So just do it on the other side as well and you're done with your straps. Now it is finally time to do the little watermelon seeds. So grab your black yarn, then create a slip knot, making sure that you leave quite a bit of yarn at the tail of the slip knot, then chain 3. After only 3 chains, then you take your hook and insert it through the very first chain that you created. Then bring them together using a slip stitch, and you're done with your little seed. Now all you have to do is cut off the end, leaving more yarn than I did right here, and pull it through the loop and tug it. Create a knot to secure it, and you're done with the little seed. The reason for leaving excess yarn on the sides of these seeds is to be able to secure them when we attach them to the blouse. So after you're done making as many seeds as you like, determine where you want your seeds to go and place the seed on top of that spot. Then grab your hook and start embroidering this seed onto your blouse. This is difficult for me to explain, so I hope just showing you what I do helps you. However, I will try my best to explain it. So if you're familiar with sewing, sewing is taking the string from the back to the front to the back again, and that's basically what you're doing here. You're just taking this piece of yarn and taking it to the back, and then once it's in the back, you take it to the front. Making sure that you're taking this string through the seed and the crochet top so that it attaches to each other. And then you grab the second yarn string and then you tie those two in the back. My goodness, that explanation was just so difficult. So if it's easier for you to just watch it, just mute me right now and watch it again. You could also actually just sew these on, but this is just how I did it. And that's how it looks like with all my little seeds. And once I try it on, it fits just like this. I paired it with a denim circle skirt. I really like how this came out. I hope yours comes out great too, and I'll see you later. Bye!